Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samuel64, and welcome to the RoboCast. Time to review the second of the World Series episodes of Robot Wars over the sort of festive period. I say New Year sort of thing. I have three guests joining me today. Introduce yourself, guest number one.
I guess that's me.
That's you. I guess that's you, James.
Go for it.
Brilliant.
No, you can go first. All right.
Oh, okay. All right. Hello, I'm guest number one. I'm Harry from Good Robottal. My first time joining Sam, and looking very forward to talking about this episode.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Finally, of course.
Yeah, taking its time.
Guest number two.
Hi, it's Jimjamatic. Obviously, I have my Robot Wars reviews, and it's been a while. The last time I appeared in here, I was with Sarah Malian on when Frostbite got destroyed. So it's been a while.
R.I.P. Frostbite. And our final guest. Introduce yourself, sir.
Hi, I'm Michael from Team Eruption.
I need to get you a...
Did I get it right this time?
You did? You got it? Yes!
Did I get it?
Yes!
Okay. I'm a pro now.
Well, I was about to, I need to get you a frequent visitors pass, Michael. This is your fifth time on here now. That's
the first time I've ever got that right first take, though.
Well, as they say, practice makes perfect. Now we need is a Series 11 BBC. Anyway, on to the episode. And Michael, team captain, how happy were you with your four teammates, or three teammates, so to speak?
No, I thought it was a cool team. Yeah, we got 4 solid team members.
Yeah.
There were plenty of good UK robots to choose from, so I would have been happy with quite a lot of people on the team, but we got 3 really good ones. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think it was a good mix of robots for the episode as well. It wasn't 4 flippers or 4 spinners. We got a good...
I noticed it was a lot of the 10-bot Rumble robots, like a lot of the wild ones. I think the only one that wasn't was Gabriel. I think the rest of them were all in the 10-bot Rumble.
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of a mix of the ones that had to stay relatively late into the competition and had time to prepare to get the robot ready.
Right,
so
right.
It was originally planned that you'd have Carbide and Nuts, I think, in this episode, but they got a bit wrecked in the final. So sort of the ones that were available and still working were the ones that ended up doing it.
It was a good lot. It was a great lot of robots.
Yeah, you can't beat seeing a little bit more of Big Nipper in the arena. I mean, that's one of my favourite competitions.
With the claws as well.
Melting.
I've missed the claw.
The claw. Anyway, moving on. I suppose we head straight into the battles. We were actually meant to have a fourth guest today. Sadly, internet and Skype wouldn't allow us to connect. Shout out to Niels Vanderberg, I want to say his name is. A horrible pronunciation if it is, I'm very sorry. But his machine, the Bash, one of the rest of the world robots in this episode, what a lovely bit of kit. I know it's not horrendously competitive, that's not the point. The point is it's a really nice looking machine based around Sergeant Bash. Who doesn't love that?
It was really good fun. It was a really fun robot. I loved the video series he did as well, that they did on building the Bash. I remember seeing the Bash on the subreddit like ages ago, and it was like, oh, this is our new robot for Team Tyrip, and I was like, oh my god, that's hilarious. That's never happening. And then I found out through people that the Bash was at recording for Series 10. I was like, no, seriously? And yeah, no, it was great to see.
And then Michael ruined everyone's dreams by flipping it halfway.
What?
One flip and it was all
what
over.
What did you expect?
I have to say, like fighting note aside, like you seem very relaxed in this whole episode, Michael. It seemed like the whole pressure of winning the title just kind of lifted, and you were just like there to just chill out. It was quite refreshing, to be honest. It was quite nice.
To be honest, we were just tired. like 9 or 10 in Glasgow at this point. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like past caring whether as hard as it is to believe from me, like past caring whether we won or not. It was just like, oh, let's have a good show and then go home.
What happens to Eruption from here though? Because you've now won the trophy. You've won Series 10. Like, I just want to know what are your plans in the future for Eruption? Are you going to continue with Eruption? Are you going to move on to something different?
Yeah, we're going to carry on. So Eruption has done, obviously this was filmed back in May. It's done quite a few live events since then.
Yeah.
Still working really well. So going to carry on using it.
Didn't work well. I am designing. Dealt with it.
Another heavyweight that we're going to be building soon, hopefully.
Ooh.
And we're going to run that alongside Eruption. Because we've not built a heavyweight since 2011, so it's about time.
Is it what weapon is it going to be?
Oh, I couldn't say.
It's top secret. Okay, I mean,
but Eruption's going to carry on. So it's working really well.
Fantastic.
And there's no reason to stop, really.
It's a brilliant robot. Just my favourite robot in the reboot since Series 8. Cool. So there you go. I'm a bit of a fan of Eruption.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, in this fight, you did kind of bully the fight. It was really nicely controlled as ever. I mean, that's just a hand in hand really. But the way that you dealt with the Bash kind of amazingly, and then who was it? Who was in this fight? I can't remember. I'm just going
Weber, yeah.
Weber, that's the one. I mean, you had actually a pretty good scrap with Weber. It seems...
He was a really good robot.
Yeah, like, you seem to struggle quite early on with it.
Yeah, a combination of, I think, that Weber being a very genuine competitor, really, and Eruption being a bit knackered. So it was... didn't go... Like, normally we're pretty good at flipper-on-flipper fights, but he got a good flip on us, and he had us for 20 seconds or so. So... Yeah, fair play to them. They did. Considering how new they are as a team and how new it is in Russia, I was really impressed with them.
I was going to say, look at the Russian competitive scene compared to, say, the UK. They've only been going for about 3 or 4 years over in Russia, and the standard that they've already got is really quite high.
So, Robot Combat is so popular in Russia, though. Like, so popular. Like, I was like looking at YouTube videos, of like live event robots in Russia, and I was like, oh my god, like there's so many views on these videos and there's just so many people watching them. I think I was talking to Craig Danby the other day on Skype, and he said to me that they went with Foxic with Extreme Robots to Russia. There were so many people just in this stadium all watching just these robots fight.
Have you ever been to Russia, Michael, or not?
We've not yet. I won't rule it out, but it's just another thing to fit in, so we've not had the chance to go yet. But
yeah, of course.
There are so many international events at the minute that look amazing. You've got BattleBots, you've got Russia, you've got RoboGames, you've got this starting up in China, all the stuff in China now. There's so many big events now across the world, which is amazing, really. So we've never done it outside the UK. We've been doing it for 12 years. We've not left the UK fighting robots yet. So one day.
Maybe on Clashbots. Maybe we'll see you on Clashbots.
Who knows?
Ooh.
No, we're not going.
With the new heavyweight.
I'm going to uni next term. I'm actually going and not skying up to do robots.
No.
I wouldn't rule it out.
Surely not.
We're letting some other teams go first time.
Fair enough. James. Hello. You're here too.
Yes, I'm here.
what did you think of Fight 1?
I was going to say actually about Weber. Weber is one of my favourite looking robots I've seen in a while, because what I like about it is the fact that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Eruption. Not saying anything, not putting against Eruption. But, no, don't worry. Don't worry. I love Eruption. But also what I love about Weber as well is the fact that it's just the small details that can get me. Like, I love the little face behind the flipper. The look how angry little smile at the behind. I love with the LEDs. I just love the little details of that. And it's one of those things, like, because obviously Russian combat again has been around as long as like America or Britain, for example. So obviously, while it is a great robot, I can imagine if this robot gets a bit more time over the years, this could be like a potential, like a really, really good robot. I mean, it's good now, but I can't wait to this robot another 3 or 4 years and see how they improve on it, because this team definitely has a lot of potential. I've seen some of the robots they had in Russia as well. They had that, I forgot its name, it's like a box, like a weird, like an arm that goes over it, like some kind of like shockwave looking thing. It's really odd looking, but it's really cool as well, and they got some really cool ideas. And as for the Bash, well, I can't praise it enough. I freaking love the Bash. I mean,
it's the Bash. It's great.
And Eruption ruined their hopes and dreams.
A bit harsh. Mild disappointment, I'll sketch too.
Okay. Every fan in the world screamed at you, Michael. Damn it! You broke the Bash.
They were saying, "Oh, we've got a Shreemec. Oh, does Shreemec work? So you can use the flamethrower as a Shreemec." Nope. Eruption just goes, "Nope, screw you," and just
it was
over
great.
Before it even started.
It was great though. It was a quality flip, but one of those things that happens sadly for the Bash and Weber. And then Fight 2 was weird. Fight 2 confused me a little bit, because obviously you had Terra Turtle, which is Terra Turtle, and I love it to bits, but just please. And then Cathad, the arena cleaner given to Michael Morden of Team Toad, and I love the guy. The guy just seems very wholesome, and it's great to see finally, after so many years of seeing endless Team Toad stickers in Robot Wars, seeing Team Toad in Robot Wars. It's great.
Yeah, it's so good seeing Fuzzy again. I'm a big fan of the Team Toad robots, and I thought Fuzzy fit in perfectly. I thought he was great in the team captain role. And yeah, I mean, again, when I was talking to Craig, he explained to me that all of the foreign teams that had to use a loner bot from Battle of the Stars, they could pick between some of the robots. Soldier Ant was busted, so they couldn't use that. And I think Robo Savage was destroyed as well. But they could pick between all the others. And Michael Morden, as soon as he saw it, was like, nope, I'm getting that one, Arena Cleaner. And do you know what? I know that it didn't really work in its final fight, but it looked really good. I really liked it. I just thought it when it got spinning, I thought it actually looked quite effective.
Obviously, Michael, you have an inherent fear of spinners. I can't imagine why.
Really? What gave you that impression?
the death hum was constant.
Is it a robot called Carbide?
Oh, it's repressed memories of Carbide.
It's admirable though, because of Series 9 Grand Final. No, I mean it was Eruption versus Ironside 3, Aftershock and Carbide, and you just were like, yeah, no, I'll school them. Well, maybe not Carbide, but you did eventually. Yeah. And when the moment mattered most.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's great.
What did you make of Cathad / Arena Cleaner?
Yeah, it's like considering what it was built in. I think the Cooper said originally for Battle of the Stars it was built in 1.5 days.
Wow.
That's how long they had for each robot. So that's the starting point at which Fuzzy got it. And I think the Robo Challenge crew did a good job to get there in 1.5 days. I think they did really well.
Yeah.
And then Fuzzy spent quite a few days on set putting his own refinements on it, which is good to see, because then it's not just, okay, it was a loner bot, but it's also something that he's put his twist onto and he put some work into it, which is good to see. So it is still a Team Toad robot in that sense, which was good. And yeah, I mean, if it's spinning, it's a threat. It's an E-Tech bar spinner. So if it's spinning, it's definitely going to cause some damage.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it spin much due to various reasons, but it's one of those things, again, robots do
concussion shenanigans.
I like the little boop. And I did like the little boop from Concussion, and it was good to see Concussion and Thor on the same team. You know, obviously they work together a lot on live events. Do Tim and Jason. I think it was quite cool to have those two on a team together. It was quite nice parallel.
Yeah, it can make sense actually, because I remember on a Reddit thing, I think with Team Concussion, they mentioned that someone asked him if he had a tag team who would be your perfect partner, and they said it would be Thor. Or Thor, I think it was Terahertz or Thor, one of the two. Basically, they wanted like some kind of axe bot combined with their spinner, and
I believe it was Thor. I think
it was Thor. I still can't remember if it was Terahertz or Thor, but it was definitely one of the two, the two axe bots, main axe bots in the series. But I mean,
so Tim and Jason are busy mates now. They're building their own robots together. You know.
Yeah, they built that. They built the one for China, haven't they? AU Thumper.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Made by Craig Danby as well. He actually helped with that as well. I think he designed the thing, and then Jason just took all the credit because, damn you, Jason, you coward.
We love Jason over here. Well, I want Jason on this podcast one day. That'd be awesome. Maybe one day.
Apparently, he just doesn't understand how to use Skype or anything.
Neither do I. Neither do I. I still managed to do it.
Yeah, no, we've learnt that. Poor old Niels. I mean, what I did love was Angela's reaction, though, to the concussion shenanigans.
Yeah.
That's not right. That's illegal. That's not fair. It's like, oh my god.
Clearly, Angela has never seen any tag team Terror Robot Wars, because they've never ever followed the rules. Like if they follow rules for the good first 5 seconds, and then as soon as one robot is in trouble, they all just start piling on, and eventually it becomes one big 2 versus 2, or most of the time one versus 2.
It was good fun. It was good fun. Then I did like to see Terra Turtle again, as much as it was probably outclassed in Series 7, but I just like that. I love the machine. It's a great little runner, and I think it's nice to see it back in the arena. And it didn't go out the arena this time, which is something.
See, someone said that on the subreddit that Terra Turtle was a piece of crap, and my response to that was basically, there's a lot of thought that's gone into it. Like, even though it's not the best robot in the world, and it certainly cannot stand up to robots like Concussion, as we saw, and Big Nipper, it's got a lot of character to it. And a John Frizzell machine always has that. It's always got that bit of sort of personal, sort of fun aspect to it. I think Terror Turtle was great, and I mean, I'm glad that we got to see it one last time before it was gone for good.
Yeah.
I think for a less serious, sort of fun entertainment episode, it fit in quite well.
Yeah.
Well, you ruined their hopes and dreams in Series 8.
Yeah.
Well,
I was very disappointed we didn't get to see the ultimate Terror Turtle Eruption rematch, because of course we know they've much improved since Series 8, so we need to.
Yeah.
Terror Turtle's gonna get.
No, but I love Terror Turtle for what it is. I mean, again, I love the team in general. I love, obviously, the Kegs being one of my favorite robots from new robots from Series 10. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was definitely it's always been outclassed, but it's always a really fun, great design. And also the fact they're all just scrap robots that he recycles and makes new, and it's very true to the John Frizzell ethic of environment, recycle, that kind of good stuff. But it was kind of fitting in a way, seeing it in this episode, just being officially retired, because I mean it looked worn out, bless it.
Yeah, it did. We'll get to its fight with Big Nipper a bit later on, but sadly for Terror Turtle, things don't get much better. Anyway, we'll move on from Fight 2. It was a fairly it was a comprehensive victory, but at the same time it was nice to see that the sportsmanship came through. Concussion did.
Tim's face to the camera though.
Oh, that cheeky pose. It was great.
You've got to put that image on the on the official robots of him staring himself on the TV.
No, that's the thumbnail.
That's the thumbnail.
Excellent.
Moving on. Sadly, due to Michael, how dare you? No more Bash.
I get blamed for everything. It's so unfair.
Well, one thing I am happy about, because you did break Bash.
We got to see Tan.
Exactly, we got to see Tough as Nails, which I really like Tough as Nails. It's a robot. It's a robot I've really, as I've got older and I've started to appreciate the technology side a lot more than necessarily how powerful something is. Tough as Nails has gone right up in my estimation. That it is such a wonderful machine, and it had a great fight with Thor. It was excellent.
It's also apparently unchanged from Series 7. Apart from replacing the internals, it's still the same machine. Because in Series 7, it was Hardox. So it's always been the same machine. And it's just, you see Thermidor 2 and Crustacean go in and just die in seconds. And those are literally exactly the same as they were in the old series. And then you just have Tough as Nails being like, nah, I'm proving that you can still do this. And it was just so good to see it again.
Yeah, Tan's an amazing machine. We've lost to Tan before. It's really good. Fun fact for you. As far as I can remember, because I was quite young, Tan was the first robot I ever saw live.
No.
Oh, that's cool.
We went Series 7 filming, and as far as I can remember, the first fight I ever saw, not on telly, was Tough as Nails, and it's 4-way in Series 7.
There you
amazing.
go.
Wait, so that was in Series 7, so did you got to see it beat Panic Attack?
No, I think we just saw its opening melody.
Did they film it out of order then?
We saw that. We saw the Bulldog Breed net controversy. I remember that one.
All right.
Yeah.
I
can't remember that much. I was quite young, but I remember Tough Snails.
Oh, so you saw the overpowered robot that was Bod. Of course, it was completely OP. Sorry,
It looks like something you're building a Robot Arena too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Tough as Nails. It's again. I can't agree with Sam. It's one of those robots that over time I enjoyed more, like a good wine. It matures, and when I was younger, I was like, oh my god, I hate this robot. It beat Panic Attack, but that's give me Hypnodisc. I want spinners. Where the spinners at? And now it's like yeah, it's an awesome robot. I mean, I just can't get over how. I guess just the scale of it. It's just all obviously it is mostly just Crusher. It is just massive. It's about I think the width of it is 2/3 my height or something. And it's just
such a clever machine. The build is just so clever. But I mean, I might have been a bit of a devil child when I was a kid because I loved when it beat Panic Attack. In the same way that I loved when Pussycat lost in Series 7 as well. I'd like seeing the new robots taking over. I was so Series 4, Series 5, Series 6. So I was like, okay, it's the same robots. Always make it to the semi-final, and it's suddenly Tough as Nails and M2, and it's okay. right, this is far better. Like I love this. I think it's fantastic. And Tough as Nails.
It was nice to see it get another good run out, and again a great fight with Thor, bit of a grudge match as well, which was nice to see. And I think probably one of the better fights of the episode. Really, I have to say, like
definitely best episode, best fight, I'd say.
Yeah. But again, what more can you say? Tough as Nails is a load of fun, and it was nice to see Thor's flaming axe. How about that?
I clapped. I actually applauded that bit. I was like, that's amazing.
It was so brilliant, and it fell off in one hit though.
It was like, look
so
how epic this is.
At once, it fell off.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a screenshot of it on the wiki. It looks so impressive. Because the whole axe looks like it's on fire at one point.
It's like God bless slow-mo cam as well. Just that bit when the axe comes flying down, you have that fiery mess of that. Oh, so cool.
No, sorry.
No, I was saying the visual of it was just so cleanly done. It was great. It was fantastic to see.
Yeah, the best slow mo stuff of this special, both these specials, have involved fire. Because obviously this one, and also the Deer Talk getting thrown by Apollo in slow motion with the fire. It's so beautiful.
It's a majestic sight seeing Deer Talk on fire.
Brings a tear to my eye.
It really does.
I think all credit to Menton. If you look at the camera footage this series versus back in Series 8, it's top notch. The editing, the whole production of it's really good. That's one thing I think the team definitely noticed.
The World Series as well. Like, I noticed in World Series 1 when they were showing that Tornado Deer Tour fight as well from Series 5, it was really crystal clear quality. Like, you see it on YouTube, like the Series 5 fight, and it's kind of potato quality 240p. But because obviously they made the show, they have
their archives.
They have those they have the high quality stuff, and it's just man, I love
it was great. It was nice to see that they've actually also started acknowledging the original show. I think we mentioned this last week a little bit, but it's great to see that embracing that, and it's nice. A little bit of fan service, but you know what, it is what it is.
It would have been cool to have seen Tough as Nails fighting Panic Attack. I would have loved to have seen that as a throwback when they were saying, Tough as Nails. And I thought they were actually leading to that when they were saying, it's a robot that's been around in Robot Wars before. And I thought, we're going to see maybe it's Series 7 successes. But they just showed it getting pummeled by Thor. And I was like,
It's one of those. It's one of those. Anyway, our next fight, I believe, was Big Nipper and Terror Turtle.
Oh boy!
It wasn't really much of a fight, I'll admit, but that snipe from Matilda though. I think it was quite funny. I think she was aiming for Terror Turtle because Big Nipper's so quick. It missed Terror Turtle completely and wiped out Big Nipper's lipos. I think because that was what caught fire, I believe, wasn't it?
Oh, it's so good. The fog of Big Nipper. Amazing.
Not quite the same effect.
Do you want to hear something that will make you really hate me?
Go on.
The original plan for that fight was Big Nipper was going to grab Terror Turtle by the wheels from behind.
Yeah. And
drive it headfirst into Matilda.
Oh!
And it went slightly wrong, so the turtle survived.
I just loved your
plan from the Nipper team.
I just have the image of the Terror Turtle head going flying into the flying towards the control booth and just staring at John Frizzell like, kill me.
I love that bit before the start of the fight when you're like, oh right, Big Nipper, you're up against Terror Turtle. That's gonna be a pretty easy fight. And then Graham's like, I don't know, it's got quite a scary spinner, and you're kind of just like. No.
I thought it was good acting.
I thought it was fantastic. I was like,
the look you gave him of just like, what are you on about?
Because bear in mind in the same series, he's faced Aftershock, and he's somehow like, no. This is the one to look out for. Is Terror Turtle.
I mean, to be fair, it could have won.
It could have.
Imagine the scenes in Terror Turtle's final fight. It wins against Big Nipper of all things.
No, that would have been a great bit of storyline. Yeah, that would have been so good though, because if you had that happen, then you have John Frizzell afterwards going, "Yeah, I'm retiring the robot now. It's had its final fight and it's won. It's going out on a high." And that would have been great, but no. Instead, you just have Noel Sharkey going, "Bloody thing doesn't even move." It's like,
that was great.
Well, technically, because of the previous battle it was in, because the foreign teams got the win, it does technically mean that Terror Turtle's now got a better record than Velociraptor.
Hey, there you go.
And whose fault was that?
Well done, Michael.
We gave Turtle some points.
Michael, you saved Robot Wars. Well done.
Yeah. That's my generous side coming out. Gave the turtle a win.
Everyone loves the turtle.
It's really good. It's great entertainment value, and that's in an episode like this. That's what it's for. So
Yeah, exactly.
It does its job well.
Yeah, exactly. It was good stuff. It was good stuff. Moving on from the nearly decapitated turtle, we'll move on to Weber and concussion. I kind of felt sorry for Weber here because I think they got the hardest. They were the best of the machines, bar maybe Tough as Nails, for the rest of the world, and they drew against the hardest competitor, which was concussion. For I think other than yourselves, Michael, but obviously you wouldn't have fought them.
Yeah.
They end up getting concussion. I think concussion was. I think it's a great machine, concussion. I think very underrated in the community for my 2 cents. And then it was quite cool to see it clash weapons with dead metal as well. That was quite fun. Yeah.
I was waiting for James to say that.
Go on.
To be fair to Weber, they did really well again.
Yeah, they did. They got
the first minute. They probably had it.
I felt so sorry for him. I felt so sorry for him because they were. I thought, oh my god, if anyone's going to win, Weber's going to get it. They're going to get the points, and they seem to be for like the first minute, like you said, they were kind of schooling concussion, and then all of a sudden the house robots were like, no, we need to destroy all foreign robots, and just attacked the thing. It just when the wheel just slid off, I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it was kind of magical how the wheels slipped off. Because I mean, when I first watched it, I did later see, because the tire got slashed by concussion. When you initially see it, it looks like it just kind of phases through the axle. It's like Killot just kind of effortlessly plucks it off as well. And after that, it was kind of game over, I guess.
I just felt really sorry for him, especially after seeing King of the Bots today with poor old Stingray.
Spoilers about King of Bots!
Oh no!
They didn't get a good draw, did they? Bless them.
They really didn't, did they? In King of Bots, yeah, that wasn't the best of draws. But anyway, they had. I think they showed quite well actually how far Russian robotics has come, or combat robotics has come in this.
That's a good show.
Yeah, exactly.
Them and Solarbot, there's some great robots that are out there from Russia, and I think that Team Weber, we're going to be seeing way more of them in the future, and I think they will eventually hopefully win something because they're great. They're a really, really good team. Yeah,
and they seem like good sports as well, which is another good thing as well. Which brings us to our final fight, the double point special, as Michael Baldwin put it, and it was kind of a shame that we didn't really get to see both robots at their full capacity. Obviously, I'm guessing Cathar had some kind of issue with the machine that caused the weapon not to work and then suddenly start working again.
Again, concussion shenanigans. We'll probably see them. We'll probably have seen, like, if this was extreme, we would have seen Tim Rackley go over and take some wires out of Cathar. And then offer some strawberries to Noel Sharkey.
Anyway,
that's a perfect bribe.
Yeah, of course. It was. I'd say one thing as well, Michael. You killed Shunt as well. You've ruined Robot Wars again.
That was cool. That was cool.
Michael Oates, the ruiner of things.
It was.
I've had to go to 2 house robots in one episode.
You did.
That was great. It was great stuff.
Honestly, that fight was really well controlled as well throughout. I think. I'm sure you'll agree. You'd have liked a proper fight with Cathar rather than like what it was, but it's what can you do? It's Robot Wars. What can you can't really make them work permanently, can you?
Well, luckily, it was driven by Fuzzy, and Fuzzy's a brilliant driver, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Yeah.
Choice. I was dreading the fight coming on telly. So really? I remember that, and I remember thinking that was really bad. And I watched it back, and actually, it wasn't too bad. That was all right. The way. Whether it was the way it was edited or I just remembered it wrong, it was actually fairly, for what it was, I thought it was all right.
I quite enjoy driving matches. I think they're like, sometimes I prefer that to just a one-sided fight. I like the fact that Cathar, even though it wasn't up to its full potential, it was still it was doing quite well. Yeah, they did. And when the spinner started working again, I was like, uh-oh, are we about to see Series 9 Grand Final happen again? I was like, nah, it probably won't happen. But like you're probably just in the control booth just thinking, oh god, no.
Yeah, there was a moment of panic. We put if you see the entanglement that was on Thor in its tag team fight, we put that on Eruption for
Yeah,
Yeah,
So the reason I wasn't flipping is because entanglement, the rules say you've got to make it so it detaches. So the whole point of it was when I fired the flipper, entanglement would fly off. That was on purpose. So I couldn't.
Right.
I was thinking he was going to play dead and not spin up until I got bored, fired the flipper, took off the entanglement, and then he'd spin up.
Mm.
So that's why I was really quite cautious. But then I got bored and decided to get rid of it. And then he spun up. So I thought, but he wasn't playing dead as it turned out. His motor was a bit knackered. But
I think a lot of the entertainment in this
it was
episode.
quite good to fight out.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of the entertainment actually did come from the control moves in this fight. Obviously, we saw you doing the Thor thing with the.
Finally, 3 series in.
You finally got a chance to do it.
Great to see.
Obviously, Michael's story about his bar and grill in the States, that looks so cool. And I like the idea of a Kickstarter or a Robot Wars one over here. That'd be great.
That was so interesting. Like, loads of people were kind of writing off and being like, "Oh, that was such filler," and I was like, "No, if that's going to be filler, I want filler like that." That was so interesting to learn about.
You mean in this episode, there's always going to be filler. Like there's 6 fights, not 8. It's more of an entertainment show than the main competition, like the main series. It was always going to be.
Yeah, of course.
But I actually thought the filler this time was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like even Sethu's bit was one of the better tech segments.
I'll be honest, I did skip over that because I just got it. The educational sections, I can understand why they're there, but at the same time, like I don't know, they just don't work well with me.
It's because it's how it goes with the BBC. It's down as a STEM show, so there's got to be some sort of educational value there.
Yeah,
what I'm waiting for you, Michael, is I'm waiting for you to flip Sir Kill-a-Lot before Apollo are able to flip it.
Now there's a challenge.
I really want you guys to flip Sir Kill-a-Lot and just ruin it all for Apollo, because we've learned, Michael, that you are the ruiner of things, of nice things.
Ruiner of dreams.
Just ruin it for Apollo. It'll be
that would be cool, wouldn't it?
It's almost worth doing.
Is this going to be the title of the episode? Michael, the ruiner of things.
Ruiner of dreams.
Michael Oates, ruiner.
That's on the level of it.
Michael Dream shattering Oates.
Yes, I like it.
I'm going to change your name on our little Facebook chat, Michael. It's great. It's right. I think that quite nicely sums up the episode. Really, the episode itself wasn't particularly entertaining in terms of the fights, but I think a lot of the stuff around the fights was excellent. I think a lot of people were giving this episode a hard time because some of the machines didn't work, and yes, some of the machines didn't work, but hey, you know what, it happens. Sometimes machines don't work, and it was nice to see that the filler that they did use worked really well. It was all within the context of the show. I think it has a great story. Obviously had Michael coming over from the States and finally getting Team Toad on Robot Wars. It was great.
I just loved all the team camaraderie. I just loved that sort of stuff. Like, people criticise this episode a lot online, and I actually thought, it wasn't great, it wasn't amazing. But then again, not every episode can be great. It's not like it's scripted or anything. So you're not always going to get good fights. But I thought they made up for it leaps and bounds, and just all the stuff in the pits. I thought the filler was really interesting. I love seeing the stuff going on in the control booths as well. I thought it was a really fun episode and a nice sort of drop down from what we saw in Series 10. I mean, the grand final, I was on the edge of my seat, and here I was a bit more like laid back and just enjoying it.
Yeah,
it's a very good end of term episode where it's a bit more relaxed, obviously, and again, I love all the stuff in the pits as well. I just love the this episode battle wise really wasn't the best, but again, I liked a lot of the robots in it. I really liked the little bits of a mild controversy in the tag teams. It was all that was really fun. The stuff with Fuzzy was great with Whitey's bar, which I was really disappointed about because when I first heard it, I was like, I've got to go there. And then, it's closed. I went, oh, all right. I was so
12 years too late.
Yeah, you should have seen my face. I was 12 years too late to go to this thing. This would be my local hangout if I lived in the.
Maybe Fuzzy is the dream shatterer then. So,
Who knows? We'll let the comments decide. Michael, you were gonna wrap up, I think.
Yeah, I think just it's one of those episodes you got to look at with the perspective. Like, people were expecting it to be a world championship. It wasn't that. I think when we were asked to do it, it was described as sort of an international fun and games sort of thing. And if you look at it like that, I think it was quite good. Just as a general entertainment show, you're not going to see a grand final Eruption Carbide level fight. But it was just all-round good entertainment. We tried to make the fights last. I thought our tag team fight was quite good. I thought you got some controversy in the other one, which makes a good TV show. I thought in general the head-to-heads went all right. Look at it; it's a bit of fun, and I think, and that goes for all the specials. And I thought it was quite good. Maybe I'm biased.
I thought it was way better than Battle of the Stars. I thought it was so much better than that. Like, I was worried we were going to see Battle of the Stars again this time, and I really didn't enjoy that very much. So this was so much better, and I really liked it. Yes, it was very in favour of the UK in this one, but do you know what? It was still fun. I enjoyed it. I finished it thinking, do you know what? I'm going to miss Robot Wars. I hope we get Series 11.
Yes, BBC. That is the next task. Commission Series 11, please. We want more stuff to review. That's the main thing, right?
Absolutely.
Anyway, I think that pretty much nicely sums up the 2 World Series episodes of Robot Wars. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you, you three, for joining me as well. It's been an absolute pleasure having you all on, as ever.
It's been very enjoyable.
Do you want a slight boost of optimism?
Go on then.
Yes.
Everywhere online it's saying this is the last episode of Robot Wars. Series 10, that'll be it. We're not going to get another one. We don't know anything saying that now, but just as a little boost of optimism, the general feel amongst the Roboteers and talking to the producers, everyone's quite optimistic.
There you go.
So,
good. And that's from the champion.
We all think it'll work out fine. So. Yeah.
There you go.
And the Dream Shatterer has changed his ways.
I know.
Michael the Dream Bringer Oates. Who knew? Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series of the RoboCast. Obviously, we've got some more things planned in between, between Series 11 and now, if there is a Series 11, touch wood. But yes, until then, I've been Samuel at 64, and I will see you next time for whatever comes next. Bye bye.